So the choosing of the category is really, really, really important. It's a lot more important than you think. And if you're in the wrong category, there's a good chance you will just not come up for searches, which is a big problem. It's a big problem. So you need someone to diagnose this for you, whether you're caught up in these searches or not. So hey, how are you doing? It's Alan here from Dublin, and I want to take you through Google Maps, Google My Business, local SEO basically, where if someone searches for you in Google, do you come up? Now with local SEO, it's actually more effective than actual SEO because sometimes you get the right hand side, half of the page, people would pay hundreds of thousands for. Half of the Google results is all you sometimes. And sometimes you come in what's called the 3-pack. It's still a lot of space. It's very, very well laid out. Very, very well laid out. And it's huge. It's absolutely huge. You can get so much from it. You get so much from it. And you get so much traffic from it. And you can get buying traffic from it. People who send you an email, people who call you, people who want to buy stuff. Isn't who you want to talk to? Wouldn't you like to talk to someone who wants to buy your services or your products? Aren't they the best people to talk to? Now, we have some issues because sometimes we look at it and, you know, there's a competitor of ours who's coming up instead of us. And they're not as good as us. They're not as good. You know, you look at this company, you're like, you want to look through the listing. And like, yeah, I want to work with this company. This is a company I want to work with. And, you know, you want to be on the right-hand side. You want to be in that 3-map pack in order for someone to be looking, going, yeah, I can work with this company. So you need to be in there. And when you're looking at the listing, you notice that, well, there's this competitor who's not that good is actually in that listing. And why are they in that listing? Well, there's 4 reasons that they're in that listing and you're not. Number 1 is proximity. So if you're in your own office or your own business doing the search in Google on your iPad or on your computer, you should be coming up. If you're not coming up in that 3-map pack in your own location, you're not coming up anywhere. Because proximity is the number 1 value. So that means that you may come up in close to your location, but you may not come up in, let's say you're in south side of Dublin, you may not come up in the north side of Dublin, or you may not come up in Wicklow. I know a guy, great guy, who provides these incredible designer products, but he's based in Wicklow, and he has real problem comes up in Dublin. So it's an issue. Proximity is important because sometimes your main market isn't actually close to your location. So that's something we worked out, but proximity is the number 1 issue as far as coming up in this 3-pack or on the right hand side, taking all that huge amount of Google space. Proximity, so important. Proximity. Now, what else is important? Well, there's a number of different things. When you are setting up your listing, or you can change it at any time, I guess, but you just don't want to change it too often because it looks a bit spammy or weird. But your category, your business category that you choose, and your primary and secondary business category are super, super important. And sometimes it's not that clear. One time I took all of the business categories out of Google and I copied them in to like a Word file or something. I just took them from the code and copied them into a Word file, and there's hundreds of categories to use. And sometimes it's not that clear what category you should choose. And there's some categories who are just searched a lot more than other categories. So the choosing of the category is really, really, really important. It's a lot more important than you think. And if you're in the wrong category, there's a good chance you will just not come up for searches, which is a big problem. It's a big problem. So you need someone to diagnose this for you, whether you're caught up in these searches or not. So proximity, number 1. Business category, number 2. Number 3, citations are important. They're always going to be important. Citations are basically just your name, address, and phone number on good quality external sites. Yelp, Bing Local, What's What in Ireland, Golden Pages in Ireland. Your details being on this site. And what's what you would not think, but is actually really important, is that the address is exact. So what I would do is go to Aircode, take your address out of Aircode, and make sure that exact same address is everywhere where it should be. And don't put it on spammy sites. What's a spammy site? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I just know because I have a list, but it's hard to say exactly what's a spammy site, what's not a spammy site. But I can definitely tell you what's not a spammy site. The real sites who this is their business, like Google My Business, like Bing Local, like What's What, like Golden Pages. There's lots of sites that's useful to have your details on there, and then there's some that's actually detrimental. So you actually don't want to have your details on there. You want to take your details off it. You want to disconnect from that site if possible. That's not always possible. What else is important? What else is important? Backlinks. Backlinks are important. It sounds like a technical term. I don't know. Sometimes I think I want to speak in a way where every single person understands it, where like a 10-year-old will understand what I'm saying. So sometimes I say backlinks and that's obvious to me, but I'm thinking to myself, should I be clearer? That seems obvious to me. Is that obvious to everyone? I don't know. But just to explain what a backlink is, basically external link, it's a link from another site to your site. And let's get more technical, will we? There's something called anchor text, which is just the text in the link to your site. So I try not to get technical, but sometimes you have to, just to explain what you're saying. So what's called backlinks are important. It's important that these links coming from other sites are to your site and they're coming from quality sites. Again, it's just so important. If they're from spammy sites, you're going to be penalized for them. So there's lots of services. I'll build you 600 backlinks for tenner or whatever it is, and don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. They're detrimental. They will build the backlinks for sure, but it's detrimental. It doesn't help you. It's one link from a specific site. Like for example, we used to get links from places like Wikipedia and stuff like that, and one Wikipedia link is worth a million of these spammy backlinks. But that's not even the case, because the spammy backlinks actually penalize your site, where the Wikipedia link is really, really beneficial. So links from people in your industry. Are you in construction industry federation, from local, maybe BNI? Are you a member of BNI? Are you a member of the local Chamber of Commerce? Like any of these links are just great. Anything like that. You may need to put anything local that you can get a link for that connects you in with the local community is really, really important. Really, really important. So let's Google My Business, the ranking factors. And then, of course, just having your business listing set up correctly. Your opening hours are in correctly. Your reviews are actually, that's actually a ranking factor. It should have its own section in this video. Reviews, good 5-star reviews are really, really important for you to show up. I believe that even like 1-star reviews are actually useful, because people are interacting. Google and YouTube and everyone else likes any kind of engagement. Speaking of engagement, like this video. Do me a favor, like the video, put in a comment or dislike it. I think it's all helpful. So like the video, put in a comment, share it to your social media. It really, really helps me out. So your reviews are really, really, really important. Try to get some good 5-star reviews. Get a review link. Send it to people who have dealt with you in the past. Ask them to review. The issue with reviews is that the one person who's not happy is going to want to tell the whole world. And the 1,000 people who've had an amazing, amazing, amazing experience aren't going to say anything. It's just the way it is. So you have to prompt people. So there's different ways of doing this. I have a like for example, your accounts package after an invoice is paid may send out a review link, which might give us a review, that kind of thing. So there's ways to work this in, but the reviews are really, really, really important. It's a ranking factor in itself. And let's finish this out. Don't make it too long. So having your Google My Business listing set up correctly, all your details in, your hours, your correct phone number, your address is exactly correct as it is in Aircode. Those things are very, very, find it at aircode.ie. I'm not going to put in the description because they always say I will, I never do, but you can type in find it at aircode.ie to find out what your business is in Aircode. And just to make sure that all those details are correct. And then putting posts up, putting videos up, putting images up, putting your products into Google My Business, having as much information there as possible. Post once a week if you can. And obviously geo-targeting videos, and geo-targeting again sounds like a technical term. It's not that complex, but yeah, you need a geo-target. I'm not going to go into what geo-targeting is right now, but it's setting your image as the location where it goes up from. But geo-targeting your images and your video and your products are super important for Google My Business also. So this has been Alan here. Just want to go through the ranking factors for small business for Google My Business. Google My Business is Google Maps, Google Local has different names, local SEO, but basically it's just whether you come up in your local area when someone searches for you. Super important. It's been Alan here. Do me a favor, like and subscribe.